1 hour between my place and this place. And I can't spend 1 hour just listening to the radio talks on the Bolt taxi driver's radio. So I always carry a book. So the book I could lay my hands on immediately was Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last. Leaders Eat Last. And I would suggest to the author that maybe he should have said, leaders eat last and least. But I was coming here, as I was coming here, I was told that my book that I had, a copy of which I had lost in Addis Ababa while working on an assignment, had arrived. I wanted to replace it, so somebody ordered it from Amazon, and I got it on my way to this hall, and it's Adam Hochschild, King Leopold's Ghost. Now, these two books are extremely important, and they are linked.
I did not know that Professor Kabudi would start with the books, so I didn't prepare myself for this, but I thought, since I have them here, I might as well introduce them to you and base my conversation on that.
Leaders eat last. That's the last thing you want to tell African leaders, because they will expel you wherever you are. You don't go around telling African leaders that leaders eat last, because either you'll have no leaders at all after that, or they will expel the man who says that. Because they eat first, and they eat a lot, and they eat too much. And it's a big problem for the governance that you're talking about. And unless we solve this problem of how leaders eat, we may never get out of the quagmire in which we are. We know that Africa, as you say, Africa is not one country. Africa is a diverse tapestry of countries, cultures, governance systems, and so on and so forth. And we have made some advances somewhere in certain areas, and we have made reverses, sometimes very serious reverses in our governance structures. But it's all centered around the issue of eating, who eats what, how much, and for what reason. The issues of corruption. President Mbeki has been very busy over the past, I don't know how many years, maybe 30 years, talking about the illicit financial flows out of Africa. I think the last time I looked was something like 70, was it $70 billion a year, and it's still continuing. And if you look at those figures that President Mbeki has been giving, most of the hemorrhage, most of the financial hemorrhage that Africa is suffering from is occasioned by people who we call leaders. I have changed my lexicon. I no longer refer to them as leaders. I refer to them as rulers, very much the same as the colonial rulers we had before, and very much the same like the apartheid rulers that you had in South Africa. Now, for any governance conversation to take place, when there is a South African, an eminent South African personality in your midst, we must go back to 1955 at Cliptown, and the Freedom Charter that the ANC adopted as the Bible and the roadmap of South Africa when South Africa becomes independent, becomes free from racism and apartheid. Well, South Africa got rid of apartheid officially in 1994, we all know. But let us ask the South Africans in our midst here, is it true that the people of South Africa are governing, because one of the first principles of the Freedom Charter was the people shall govern. The people shall govern. Now, in South Africa, I don't know whether this is reality, but in the rest of Africa, is this really what is happening in our countries? Here in Tanzania, for instance, or in Kenya, or in Uganda, or in Gambia, or in Senegal? What is it? Why have we failed to transform national independence to people's freedom? Why is national independence such an empty concept that has a national anthem, has a national flag, has a national parliament, and so on and so forth? But in reality, it is completely devoid of substance, where people can feel in their country that they are free, they are in control, they are the masters and mistresses of what they survey. So the number one issue is about who eats first, and the number two issue is who rules over our countries, including our economies, our politics, our culture, our social services, and so on and so forth. I pause there.
Thank you very much for sharing.